This cryptocurrency bear market has been absolutely brutal. It's been devastating. There's been blood in the streets, panic, pandemonium, and everyone is on the fence that Bitcoin and the crypto markets and the financial markets and the global markets are about to get even worse. And we're about to dive deeper into a deep, dark, and gruesome recession. But what if all of those people are wrong? What if Bitcoin and crypto are about to shock the world? What if they're about to surprise everyone? And what if it wasn't based on an opinion? What if it was completely and utterly 100% based on the facts and the charts? Could it even be conceivably possible that Bitcoin could shock the world and have already bottomed in a market in which everyone will say we're going a lot lower? In today's video, I want to present to you just the facts and only the facts. And I want to stand on only the facts in the charts, because what I see playing out is Bitcoin is on the verge of shocking the world, and it's playing out right in front of our eyes, and a lot of people are overlooking it. And I'm going to show you where I believe it started. Hit the subscribe button. My name is Steve. I want to share with you what I believe turned everything around for Bitcoin and really started to confuse a lot of people who really study Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually topped here in April of 2021. This was just a technical double top. A lot of people are in love that this was Bitcoin's top. But when you study Bitcoin like I do, and we're going to go through all of these different charts from different angles, from different lenses, looking at different theories in Bitcoin, but they're all screaming the same thing. We're going to start with this chart here. And again, I think where Bitcoin threw a wrench into everybody's plate is here. Bitcoin actually topped here. If you study the charts really thoroughly, this was our top. This was just a double top. And now everybody will say, hey, Bitcoin hasn't gone down 80-something% like it has in the past, but they're also not factoring in diminishing returns. If you look at our 5.3 theory, every single time in between cycles, it's divided by a multiple of 5.3. If you take this 320,000%, Bitcoin predicts its next top years in advance. You just take this number, you divide it by 5.3, you go to the bottom and you go up 60,000%. It gets you precisely to here every single time, 5.3. So if we have diminishing returns, we're also going to have diminishing corrections. But people are not taking that into consideration. This was our market top. This was a double top, and we have diminishing corrections. But if you study Bitcoin and you study its market cycles and you study when it starts building a base and you study what it does when it starts building a base, Bitcoin is acting precisely as it did in every single bear market. And we cannot deny that. If you deny that, you're simply in denial. If you study the charts, we are acting exactly as we did in the 2018 bear market. We're acting exactly as we did in the 2015 market. And we're reacting exactly as we did in this 2011 and 2012 bear market. It's undeniable. Here's another example. We have a MACD cross on the 12th day. There are literally no false signals in this in Bitcoin's entire history. And we usually have this MACD cross in every single bear market right towards the end of it, which signals that prices are about to go up. And we're really closely following here where we had this signal. Bitcoin's price rose up a little bit, forming a short-term double top, but then we formed a really strong double bottom. This is a beautiful technical pattern that I believe Bitcoin is on the verge of doing the same. But we've had this nice little MACD cross every single bear market. There's never been a false signal, and we are about to have another one. And how about this? The heat worm. It's the first time in 11 years that we printed this dark blue. Dark blue is one of the strongest buying signals. The strongest one since Bitcoin was at 3 cents. And how about this next chart? We have the super guppy. Bitcoin is really closely following the 2015 super guppy, where we were flipping from, we had the same amount of days in white. Again, Bitcoin's top was here, not here. A lot of people get that wrong. And technical analysis, it's easy to confuse, but this is a double top, right? You can see the amount of days in white was precisely the same amount of days in white as 2015. And then we flipped from red and orange precisely as we did recently. And then we had this point number 1 here, and point number 2 was the flip in red. We had this point number 1 here, which is market bottom. Point number 2 is the flip in red and orange. And we're following that market structure that we see playing out in front of our eyes. And how about here? We printed a green bar at precisely the market bottom, another green bar at precisely the market bottom, and another green bar at precisely the market bottom. It's impossible to argue that Bitcoin is acting not precisely as it did in the 2018 bottom and the 2014 bottom. It would be nearly impossible to argue that. We are acting exactly as we did in these other markets. Look at this. Every 4 years, Bitcoin does the exact same thing, the exact same pattern every 4 years, exactly the same. We dip our head below this with our momentum, then we go on a 50% rally, and then we have a mega crash. We dip our head below here, we have a 48% rally, we get everybody excited, then we have a mega crash right to our bottom. 2022, we dipped our head below here, we had a 47% rally, got everybody really excited. We called mega crash at 48K, and the rest is history. We're following it pound for pound, move for move. Every market cycle, everyone screams, this time is different, without any proof. It's just, this time is different. It's just a storyline. This time is different. The same storyline was in 2018. The same storyline was back here. And guess what? The same exact storyline will be in 2026. This time is different. We're going to do something different. We're not. Bitcoin's going to follow the same patterns as it's been doing its whole life. This is why Bitcoin is getting ready to shock the world. We talked about our 5.3 theory. This is the best strategy to buy Bitcoin on planet Earth. It's predicted every single market bottom to the T for the past 11 years. I built this strategy long before the 2022 bottom. I built this strategy a long time ago, and it printed at 17,500. It's the below strategy. We can't make this up. This is stuff that we did years ago, and it's still on point. It said the bottom was in at 17,500. That's where we've stood ever since. We have the 100 MA and the 20 MA on the weekly, and we can all agree that this is a yellow line and this is a red line, right? We can agree on that. We can agree that the yellow line has crossed down through the red line only 3 times. We can agree on that, right? What we cannot deny is that when this yellow line crossed down through the red, it happened precisely at the market bottom in 2015. And then when this yellow line crossed through the red for the second time in history, it happened precisely at the market bottom in 2018. And what did it do in 2022? It crossed right at 17,500. We cannot argue that Bitcoin, it's different this time. We can't argue that. The facts are the facts. Men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. Bitcoin is getting ready to shock the world. The bottom is in. We are not going down to 1,000 or 500 or any of these crazy numbers. The bottom is in until proven otherwise. We're acting exactly the same with this 3-day death cross. We sat right here on this channel in 2018. We warned everybody in 2018 that a death cross was coming on the 3-day, that we were about to plummet in prices. Nobody wanted to believe us. Nobody wanted to believe us, and we did exactly that. We crashed down to just about where we said. We said it was going to crash down to the 200-week moving average, and then we called the bottom, and then all of the people that were screaming we were going higher here started screaming we were going a lot lower here. The same thing happened. We warned everybody that there was a 3-day death cross coming. We warned everybody that there was a mega crash coming. A lot of people didn't want to believe us, but they got a lot smarter because they watched us in 2018 and they were like, hey, this guy knows his stuff. We're paying attention. We called for that mega crash and we capitulated right to our bottom, exactly as we did in 2018 and exactly as we did in 2015. But they all say this time is different. Really? It happened exactly as it did in 2015 and then exactly as it did in 2018. Like exactly. It capitulated right to its bottom after the 3-day death cross. And now look what it's doing. It's battling up to the green line. Guess what? Is this time different? No. It did that in 2018 and it did the same thing in 2015. This time is not different. This time is not different. There's just more social media coverage on it today than there was in 2018. Simple as that. We're right where we were in every single bear market. We're right where we're supposed to be. We're right on track, and Bitcoin is on track to shock the world. So hopefully this is a little wake up call to you. And, we can argue whether Bitcoin will go up down, backwards, forwards, sideways, but we cannot argue Bitcoin is doing exactly as it did every single bear market. We cannot argue that. We cannot. These are the facts. Bitcoin is doing exactly to the T, pound for pound, move for move, precisely what it did in every single bear market. And that's why Bitcoin is about to shock the world. Subscribe. Do you want less stress and more success in crypto? Click this video right now.